terrifying drought of the Mississippi River that will blow your mind. The mighty Mississippi River is North America's second longest river. This mighty river flows right through the heart of America, generally flowing to the south for 3,770 kilometers, and is also known as the 14th largest river in the world by volume. Mississippi's extensive body of water is an important source of drinking water for millions of people in America. The river also supports a 12.6 billion shipping industry, making it one of the most incredible water highways in the world. But recently, in late October 2022, a big crisis struck the Mississippi River. The problem was so big that it crippled the US agricultural trade. Being such an important water highway in America, people were thrown into panic when this massive river experienced a critical drought, draining almost 58% of the Mississippi. What had possibly caused the Mississippi's water levels to stoop so low? How does this alarming drought affect the entire nation of America? Stick around to find out, as today we're going to uncover the terrifying drought of the Mississippi River. When we talk about the Mississippi River, many people would just take it as a beautiful river that flows right through America when really it serves as a highway for a lot of industries. The river is a crucial shipping route for oil, agriculture, and building materials, supporting over 35,000 related jobs. So, what happens to these industries when the river dries up? The central part of America thrives in part of the industries that make use of the Mississippi as their shipping route. Considering the river's size, tons of barges carrying supplies and large boats are able to make their way up and down the river with ease. But with the river drying up, severe ship and barge traffic occurred, causing trouble for these industries. Farmers heavily rely on the Mississippi River for the transport of their crops, but with the severe drought, the transportation of these crops has been brought to a stop, or at least significantly slowed down. In the meantime, the unshipped crops are covered in tarp, waiting for the Mississippi to fill up. Despite the good harvest, the crops cannot be taken to where they should be, disrupting the agricultural trade. With low water levels making it difficult to ship goods up and down the river, it doesn't help that the drought is allowing a wedge of salt water from the Gulf of Mexico to move up the river, threatening the drinking water supply for Louisiana. The drought is so severe that numerous barges are getting stuck on sandbars, and even when a barge is able to stay afloat on the Mississippi River, it cannot only do so by carrying 50% less of the load it usually takes. Annually, the river transports up to 500 million tons worth of goods and services, but with Mississippi's current state, those numbers have also been affected greatly, taking a toll on the economy. Many ports and docks no longer have deep enough waters for boats to reach them, making it a big problem for the entire country. Scientists proclaim that the current drought might not go away anytime soon, stating that water levels might sink even lower in the upcoming weeks. Why has the Mississippi River been drying up? Studies show that an extreme lack of rain causes rivers to dry up, with heat waves becoming more persistent when patches of the riverbed start to poke out of the water. But the most significant factor to blame is climate change caused by humankind. Now, October is traditionally considered the month of low water in the Mississippi River, but this time the water levels are taken to a new record. This drop in water levels became even more intense this year, especially when the Midwest of America experienced a very hot and dry summer, failing to replenish tributaries that feed into the river. At this point, the Mississippi River had now hit historic low levels. The significantly low water level raised a couple of eyebrows from scientists, since they hadn't seen anything like it since 1998, which was 3 decades ago. Ginger Z, the chief meteorologist of ABC News, states that what they're experiencing in the US is a triple dip La Niña, a triple dip meaning that this is the 3rd year in a row that they've experienced the phenomenon. Pateri Talas, the Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization, comments on the subject, saying, "It is exceptional to have 3 consecutive years with a La Niña event. Its cooling influence is temporarily slowing the rise in global temperatures, but it will not halt or reverse the long-term warming trend." La Niña is usually accompanied by trouble, since La Niña occurrences have a devastating impact on the globe because of their effect on the weather and the climate, such as the drought in Mississippi. Well, what is La Niña? A La Niña is an irregular upwelling of unusually cold water to the ocean surface. When a La Niña happens, ocean temperatures in the eastern Pacific Ocean near the equator become cooler than usual. The cooler water then affects the weather patterns in the US, specifically in December, January, and February. The World Meteorological Organization declares this is the century's first triple-dip La Niña. So, what has been done to aid the current crisis? In the last month, the US Army Corps of Engineers installed a barrier made up of sediments stretching across the riverbed of the Mississippi River. The barrier has served to block the movement of seawater up to the river to preserve the drinking water supply. The Army Corps have also been dredging for the past 3 months, desperately trying to keep a shipping channel open, preventing barges from becoming stuck. On a lighter note, the drought of the Mississippi River made numerous exciting discoveries for archaeologists when relics and artifacts began to surface when the water had gone. People were amazed when a ferry that was most likely from 1800 to the early 1900s was uncovered along with the sinking water level in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A local resident named Patrick Ford had found the boat while they were walking along the shore of the river. Although parts of the ferry had been spotted when the river experienced low water levels in the past, it had only fully emerged this year. Chip McGimsey, a state archaeologist from Louisiana, believes that the boat may be the wreck of the Brook Hill Ferry. Archaeologists proclaim that the Brook Hill Ferry joined the Baton Rouge ferry fleet in 1895, carrying passengers and horse carriages across the river. During a hurricane in 1915, the Brook Hill Ferry then sank down the river. Archaeologists were very interested in finding the ferry and were excited to examine it as it had become accessible due to the drought. Alan Soltis, a retired archaeologist who specializes in boats, was immediately called to the scene by McGimsey, and the two went down to the shipwreck to excavate and learn as much as they could about the sunken boat. Although the Brook Hill Ferry is not a very important vessel, archaeologists want to learn as much as they can about it before it's submerged under the water again. "It won't look like this the next time she shows up," McGimsey said. "Eventually, the river will come back up and the ship will go back underwater. That's part of the reason for making the big effort to document it this time, because she may not be there the next time," the archaeologist concluded here. The following week, another discovery would be made when Riley Bryant found Civil War-era bullets and a Union US cartridge box plate while he was walking under the bridge in Memphis, Tennessee. "I couldn't believe it was sticking up in the rocks like that," Brian said. "To find it there in such good condition just lying there, it almost gave me a heart attack," he adds. People were surprised to find the artifacts to be very well preserved, being 160 years old at that. Aside from the unexpected discoveries, worried onlookers still heavily observe the drought in the Mississippi River. People are looking forward to rain being a source of relief for the crisis, but weather forecasts show that weather conditions in the coming weeks and months are not likely to be in their favor. Although the people deem rainfall to be the solution to end the worsening drought, the Mississippi River is a large and vast body of water, impossible to be filled by rain alone. You need a lot of snow this winter that's going to have to melt into the right places, and you're going to need a big change. This isn't something that ends tomorrow even if we had an inundating rainstorm, meteorologist Ginger Z states in an interview. With the severe drought continuing to disrupt transportation and the economy of the country, we can only hope for a miracle to occur in the upcoming weeks to end the severe crisis of the drought-stricken Mississippi River. What do you think will happen if the Mississippi River completely dries out? What are your thoughts on the discovered relics and artifacts? Do you think the Mississippi drought might signify something even more terrifying to come? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.